Maybe it was a skill that I might be missing. In any event, I wanted to figure out how could I improve. Then there were other clients, again, then as now, who no matter what I did, how many books I read, how much supervision I got, just didn't seem to get better. These were clients that stuck in my mind, that when I drove home from the office, I reflected and they went around and around in my head, small snippets of conversation that I wished I could redo, that I thought if I did or were able to redo them, the client might return, magically somehow get better. Those times I was left feeling lost in the woods, not sure what to do or where to go. I mostly kept that to myself. I didn't say it to others who seemed to have really great outcomes, at least in the stories that they told. So something happened when I was a young therapist. I received a job offer from two very well-known clinicians working in the Midwest. Some of you may know them, Steve DeShazer and Insoo Berg of solution-focused brief therapy fame. I couldn't believe it when I got the letter telling me that they wanted me to come and work in Milwaukee. I'm not talking just about working part-time, being a full-time member of the faculty. Here I was still feeling like I didn't really know what I was doing, and they were asking me to come and work with them. It was an amazing, heady experience. I sat behind a mirror and watched thousands of hours of work being done by two expert clinicians. And I have to tell you that during that particular time, I became a much more confident clinician. Gone was my inability to articulate what I was doing at each and every moment of the session. I was much more certain. And there wasn't much that a client could say that I hadn't heard before and didn't know how to respond to. Then something happened. After I'd been at the Brief Family Therapy Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for about 5 years, we asked some researchers to come in and evaluate our work. We'd been claiming that we were not only more effective, but that we accomplished our objectives with a shorter period of time. One session on occasion, but no more than a handful of visits. The researchers came in, they did their work, recontacting about 250 of our former clients, doing thick interviews, as well as administering some standardized scales. I'll never forget the day when they came to report on their particular findings. They asked me, did I want to hear the good news or the bad news? Well, I thought, well, what could the bad news be? So tell me what the good news was. They said, you're effective. What you are all doing here at the Brief Family Therapy Center really does work. Well, what could the bad news be, I wondered. Well, they said, you're not more effective than anyone else, and you're not doing it more briefly than anybody else. It was a big shock. It rocked the team. And within a short period of time after that, the team split apart. How could I teach a model of therapy that was as effective as everything else? For me, this sent me back to the research literature. I really wanted to know, how could I get better at what I did? I had become a much more confident clinician, but the truth was, I wasn't any more effective than I was as a student or prior to being at the Brief Family Therapy Center.